Record. All right. Well, happy Friday, June 15th, everybody. Welcome to Success Zone. My name is Jeff Giamalva, and for those people who don't know, we conduct Success Zone every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And this is really just personal development training. Any company, any entrepreneur, people want to take advantage of the information. And that's because once you are an entrepreneur, it means you're in the people business. And if you're in the people business, right, there's one recipe. Know yourself first, and then you can understand others. And that's really our platform here. So on Fridays, I usually pick a video to start with. And this is the one I've chosen this morning. So we'll play this to bring everybody on.
You know, and so my job was to clean these 7 floors between Friday and Sunday. So every time I would go to the 7th floor was the CEO's office. So I would bust in like I was the CEO. I'm dreaming like I'm the CEO now. And who would have ever thought? I've been blessed. And here I am the CEO of my own company.
Well, I think that the number one thing is you have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go, because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going and that you're very passionate about that, that you see it always in front of you, the goal.
To thrive in whatever you do, please understand your terrain. Know what your target is. Don't guess it. Be as clued up as the next man, because that's your petrol. That's your fuel to get you moving. If you don't know where you're going, what your targets are, you're never going to get there. Period.
And the other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big. Because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. You know, we don't achieve big things by accident.
I have to tell each and every one of you that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your age, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
If you think that you're going to go and accomplish something really special and be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting or if it is in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, you know, sometimes make a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it.
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry. And to see LeBron James, who's like a mega superstar over here and a phenomenal athlete, share that belief is inspiring right back to me. It shows that we are thinking correct. You know, this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work.
This here is the reality? Do you mean that the competition is not the reality?
Listen, the work is behind the scenes. Competition is the easy part. Behind the scenes is where the work is done. And everything is done to get to that one race that you need to run.
I always questioned myself in the best of times, even when I was world #1 for many weeks and months in a row. At certain times during the year, I said, what can I improve? What do I need to change? Because if you don't do anything or you just do the same thing over and over again, you stay the same. and staying the same means going backwards because the other guys are working hard and improving. So I always needed to find ways to improve my game as well.
I very often watch a lot of young people.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Success Zone, Friday morning edition. I love that. I love that. The work is behind the scenes. The competition is the easy part. Love that. Usain Bolt. Okay. The work is behind the scenes. The competition is the easy part. Let me translate that. Right? Our work is behind the scenes. Walking across the stage to your next ranking is the easy part. Right? The work is behind the scenes. Going on the podium for the gold medal is the easy part. And guess what people want to know? They want to know how to get across the stage. They want to know how to get the gold medal around their neck. They don't want to hear about the work. Okay, it's just what it is. It's human nature. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, but understand, it's like the chicken and the egg. Let me ask you all a question. What comes first, vision or the opportunity? What comes first? It's the same thing as the chicken and the egg. Some people say, well, the vision comes first. I got to know where I'm going, right? And that will create my desire. And then the opportunities will appear. Some people have that philosophy. Other people say, no. Once I find my opportunity, I believe that'll strike the entrepreneurial flame, which will create the vision, right? Which will create the work. I don't care how you think. Doesn't make a difference. But I do believe without a doubt, if you're excited about your journey, if you're really, really passionate and excited about your journey, then all things are possible. Nothing is impossible except our limited beliefs. That's really all it is if it really comes down to it. Okay, but here's the thing. Everybody on this particular call, okay, has accepted some type of opportunity, right? Everybody on this call. And everybody knows on this call that whatever company you represent, there's people that you inspire to achieve what they've achieved. So where's that miss? Where's the miss? You know where the miss usually is? It's all the things we talk about on Success Zone. First of all, work works. Okay? But here's the thing. Tracking your work, having realistic expectations when you work, creating your desire when you work, making your work fun, making it something you cannot not do. Think about that for a second. People say, Jeff, how can you cannot, wait, I can't even talk. How come you never miss a day when you go to the gym? I cannot not. It's just, I have to function. How can you not, right, go out there and talk to people? I cannot not talk to people. So you got to make this part of your day, every day. So let me help you, okay, with today's training. And a lot of you have seen it, right? And that's the whole idea behind it, right? The whole idea behind it is that you should be getting better every time we do particular training. This is one of my favorite trainings, and this is also a book. And if you haven't read it, you need to get it, okay? And it's called The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements, okay? Now, the reason I love the book, The 4 Agreements, and you guys know my reading library, right? I've given you many different books to read, right? One of my favorites is Outwitting the Devil. You guys, a lot of you know that already. And you know, that particular book, what they talk about, okay, what they talk about is your hypnotic rhythms, right? They talk about the other voice. Right? They talk about the masses and why the masses are controlled by the devil. That's the analogy. But see, the 4 Agreements is really all about you. The 4 Agreements is about, okay, if you get yourself right, and you have your agreements down with yourself, nobody else could affect you. And that's my goal. My goal is for you to be, right, walking out of your house every day in armor, right? Nobody could penetrate you. And the reason why that's so important is because people will try to shoot holes in you, right? People will try to find the chink in your armor. And they come at you in many different ways. A lot of times they're venomous. Can anybody relate to someone being venomous? You're going, who are you? Why are you being so mean? You know what it is? It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do. Their meanness is to themselves. You're just a reminder of what they're not doing. Okay, that's what it is, because you've made a change. See, by you just waking up today, do you understand, and you having an opportunity that allows you to dream again? You know how much better off you are than most people? Think about the people that wake up every day going, oh my gosh, I got to do the same thing that I hate to do. I got to get into the car I don't want to drive, right? And I got to go to the workplace I don't want to be at, right? So I could then, right, finish my Friday and go to the weekend to a house I don't want to live in, to do the things I don't want to do, so I can go back on Monday, because I dread Sunday night, because Monday's right around the corner, and here we go again. It's the hamster wheel. But you know, by you just waking up every single day, if you have a belief system and that you have an opportunity, what that means. But see, here's some of the principles you got to follow. Number one is you got to be impeccable with your word. Charlotte, I'm going to correct you. If you get up in the morning, yeah, you're ahead of if you get up in the morning and you have something you're excited about, you're ahead of 98% of the people. Not 50%, 98%. Because only 2% of the people out there will ever make a change. People talk about it, okay? But see, what you have to do is you got to be impeccable with your word. Okay, with your word. You got to become the person people want to follow. This is why I keep talking about it almost every day. I'll say it one way or another, no matter what training I'm doing, and that is, you got to work harder on yourself than you have to work on trying to get others. Speak with integrity. Some people say, I don't like the way you talk. I talk the truth. Okay, you like it? One thing you could say about Jeff, okay, is, you know what? He's going to tell you how it is, and he's going to speak with passion. And I'm not saying to be me. You got to be your own personality. But speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. You got to tell people what you're looking for. Right? People don't know unless you tell them. Can you explain, can you tell me what you're looking for? Right? If you're going to sponsor Jeff, if you're going to sponsor me into your company, can you tell me what you're looking for? Do you know the profile of who you're looking for? Are you looking for someone to tell you, I'm really good and I could bring you lots of people? Or are you looking for people that are exercising their attributes? Are you looking for people that have a desire? That's who I look for. Are you looking for people that are willing to do the work? Are you looking for people that are teachable, that are driven, that are self-reliant, that are consistent and persistent, that are aggressive with their goals? See, I look for characteristics. That's what I look for. I don't look for anybody that can fog up a mirror. In the beginning, I did. I'll take anybody, and that's a good learning phase for some of you. But see, here's the thing, what you have to do. Tell people what you're looking for. Speak with integrity. Never tell people something you won't do, right? Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. You know what gossiping does? It makes you feel good about yourself. That's what gossiping does. That's why we gossip, because it's putting somebody else down in a lot of cases, right, to elevate you. You know how you stop gossiping? Right? If Susan calls me and says, hey, Jeff, have you heard about so-and-so? You know how you stop Susan in her tracks? Susan, I like so-and-so. Uh-oh. Where does she go with that? You know, she'd probably say, oh, I do too, and she'll change the subject. But if you say, really, Susan? What did so-and-so do? Now I just gave her fuel. And I'm telling you this because this is a big part of some of our days. Gossiping, using the power of your word in the direction of truth and love is what you want to do. I like so-and-so. I think so-and-so has done some great things. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of this. And a lot of you people know this. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. Everybody has their style. Okay, there was a person in our other company, great work ethic. I'm not going to say the person's name. Great work ethic, has conferences, has people dancing in the aisles, music really loud, right? And just has an unbelievable passion. Some people, I just hate the way so-and-so, right, conducts his meetings. You know what I say? Every time? I say, I don't care what you think about so-and-so. I've never met a person with so much passion in my life and cares about people. And they go, and so many people listen to everybody else's opinions. I don't like the way so-and-so does the meeting. I think we should change this. I think we should change that. And we're talking about all the stuff that keeps us broke. And then we convince ourselves that we work that day. Well, I try to correct the presentation. I try to change the comp plan. I try to change our slides because so-and-so doesn't like this slide. He doesn't like when you create vision. He doesn't like rah-rah. Wait a minute. What does that have to do with making money? Change this, change that. You know what people do when they get down this road? They do nothing. That's all they do. And that's the gossiping part, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Because in our industry, okay, we're surrounded by it. Because let's just call this what it is, okay? Most people never succeed in obtaining their goals. It's just what it is. And when you have a group of people not accomplishing, guess what? Instead of looking in the mirror, it's easy to talk about all the reasons why they are where they are. We got to correct that. The only reason you're not where you want to be is because you're not working hard enough. You have unrealistic expectations. You don't have a plan. You don't have a schedule. You haven't fully committed. You haven't gone all in. Now, what does that mean? Let me go off camera here for a second. What does going all in mean? Going all in simply means whatever you're willing to do. I'm not saying to burn the boat. I'm not telling anybody on this call today to go quit their day job. Some of you may say, you know what? That's me burning the boat. Okay, if you're going to do that, counsel up first before you make that decision. Because once you really burn the boat, you have to make this happen, right? I'm talking about going all in according to your commitment level. You guys see the difference? Okay, if you work 9 to 5 and you're committed to 2 hours to your opportunity every night, that's what I'm talking about, going all in on. Don't be distracted for those 2 hours. And now you're being impeccable with your word. Let me add to this, to yourself. Do you know how powerful you are when you're impeccable to your word, to yourself? Let me tell you what that means. Every night you go to bed, you have a successful day because you did what you said you were going to do. That is so valuable. Now when you're brushing your teeth, you can say, you know what? I did it today. Forget the results. The results will be there. Right? When these when these people in track and field run 6 440s or 10 440s, right? They're getting better every step. They're putting in the work. That's what I'm talking about. So when I say find your little successes, do you guys know what I'm talking about now? Being impeccable with your word is a success today. You got to always leave before you go to bed with a successful thought in your head. If you go to bed every day saying this is not working, and you're gossiping and you're doing all the crazy stuff, okay, you're only going to have about a 90-day life cycle here. You may still be paying your auto ship, right? You may still be in the system, but you're not really working. When you have the agreement of being impeccable with your word to yourself is the start of your success. Just try that, please. Try number one. First of all with yourself and then to others. See, we always go to others first, and everything, when you're being impeccable with it's just words. And people know it's just words, right? If Susan's talking to me, I know if there's belief coming out of her mouth, and I know if it's just speechless babbling. I know the difference. If I know the difference, don't you think many people know the difference? It's the belief. Well, if I have an understanding and an agreement with myself that I've bought in, you speak differently. I could tell when someone is almost out. I could tell by the way they do a meeting. I could tell by the way they show up. I know when they're just going through the motions. I don't want you to be that person. And that's what number one does. Holding yourself accountable to what you say you're going to do. Number two, don't take anything personally. Woo! Anybody ever done this one? Are you kidding me? Don't take anything personally. Here's why you can never ever take anything personally. Nothing somebody does is because of you. We take no's personally. We take ridicule personally, right? Because, right, we think, and then we attach it to multi-level. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people say, well, that person left because it's multi-level. This person doesn't want to be involved. They don't want their name attached to it. Do you really believe that? If you really believe that, you've lost belief. And now you're going to try to get people involved with something you don't believe in? I'm so sick of that multi-level thing. Trust me, if that person was making $100,000 a month, they don't care what you call it. It has nothing to do with multi-level. It has nothing to do with you or what you're involved in. It's because of themselves. What others say and do is a protection of their own reality, their own dream. We're all in our own movie. You know this, right? We're all in our own movie. And all we know is what we know. Now here you come. And guess what? You know something they don't know. And when you expose something that you know to someone that doesn't know, right, guess what? That reflects change. And what happens with change, it elevates fear. And now you represent fear and change. So guess what? It's easier, right, to say, I don't want any part of it because of this or because of that, and you take it personally. No. It's called change. It's called fear and doubt. So what do you have to do? You don't take it personally. How do you disarm those people? Hey, man, you don't start to explain multi-level. You don't start to explain your comp plan, and then you get paid down 7 levels or 8 levels, and my company pays down 9 levels. That's not what they're saying. You know what they're saying? Okay, what they're saying is, I don't understand. And you know how you react to that? Instead of taking it personally, you say, I understand the way you feel. Oh, now I'm not someone to defend against. What do you mean you understand the way I feel? I just took their fear down. Well, let me tell you why. Because I was where you are. And that's when you start to talk about all the things that have been wrong in your situation and why you made a change. Knowing the same things you're talking about are the same things he wants to change. Do you see? So this is what I'm going a little bit deeper when I say don't take anything personally. When someone fights against you, they just don't know what you know. Show empathy. Understand, nod, smile, and watch how they bring down their defenses. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. I'm going to say it again. All they know is what they know or what they've heard. Can you imagine? People hear something. Let's just talk about it for 1 second. Okay? People hear some of the stories out of Malta. I know, yeah, let me tell you something, Susan. My sister's grandma's cousin aunt got involved in one of those things, and she lost everything. Oh, well, there you go. That's all they know. Or maybe they got involved and they didn't do the right things and they failed. So their experience was failure. And this is how, now I'm not doing this training, but I kind of am. This is where I listen through the objection. And I want them to talk about that. No one could deny, listen, any wealthy person, no one could deny the power of earning a percentage of other people's actions. Nobody could deny that. Nobody. We have a product. You have a product. You have a service. If you get 1 million people using that product or service through some form of geometric progression, and you tell that person the percentage you earn on those millions per month, who could say that's bad? Do you understand? Did you see how I just combated that? They're not really saying that. What they're saying is my experience or what I think I know is not something that I would embrace. So what do you got to do? Change their thought process. How? I just showed you. I understand the way you feel. But don't take anything personally, because I'm telling you, they're going to come up with the craziest stuff. And here's all the texts that I get every day. Jeff, how would you combat this? How would you combat that? You know what? Here's my answer. I wouldn't combat it. That's your problem. You're combating it. You're meeting force with force. You're trying to give them the magic answer. They don't want the answer. They want to know that you understand the way they feel. And when I get them talking, guess what I'm doing? As they tell me the things that I want to know, I'm determining, because I'm impeccable with my word, I'm determining if I want them. I'm trying to find out as they talk their desire. I'm trying to find out if they be willing, if they're teachable, if they're self-reliant. I'm trying to find out. These are the questions. And then all of a sudden, when I do this, there's nothing to take personally. They're going to walk away shaking their head. I'm not going to lose that battle. Do you guys follow me? When you take things personally, you've lost the battle. Now you're going to bed, right? Instead of being impeccable with your word, you're going to bed thinking about the person that said no to you. They've won. And guess what? You wake up thinking about the no. No. You know how you go to bed with the right attitude? I didn't want them anyway. Someone says no to me, my mentality is I didn't want her anyway. I never liked Susan. She's a dream stealer. I don't even like what she's having for breakfast. I don't like her. You see, I play a head game. I play a head game because I know it's not personal. And that's how you combat that, guys. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. So true. Some of this, most of this is self-inflicted. And I'm just telling you, that is self-sabotage. Some of you self-sabotage. Got to figure out where that's coming from and why you hang on to that. Some people are afraid of success. It's real. Everything you take personally, everything. Because I don't know what you're doing to yourself. You maybe don't want to be, that's a whole nother training. I could go on for 4 hours on that one. Okay, you see how you need to understand you? So now, when you have that person, remember this training. Oh, I'm not taking it. Jeff told me not to take this personally. Jeff told me just to smile, nod, understand the way you feel, right? Start talking about, what are we talking about now? When you understand the way they feel, what are you talking about? Does anybody know? Them, their family, where they live, their occupation, their passions, flop them. And now you just listen. And now you're in complete control. They're not controlling you with their personal attacks to what you do. Never take that personally. I'm done. Okay, number 3, don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. This is where I went back to. Do you know what you're looking for? Don't assume everybody's going to be good. Not everybody's going to be good. In fact, most people won't be good. Never make assumptions. We make assumptions day one. Now, watch this. The assumptions could work in your favor in the beginning. Maybe the assumptions got you to make your decision. You know what I mean? As you're sitting there making your decision, you're probably thinking about who will and who won't. In most cases, you're probably thinking about who will, which gets you to the point of making that decision because you're fighting through fear and doubt. So you're convincing yourself through an assumption, okay, why you need to make this decision to do it, right? So that assumption worked in your favor. Other assumptions will work not in your favor. So you know the way to do it, don't make assumptions. That's where work comes in. When you work, no need to make the assumption. You're going to find out yes or no because you're working. Most people make the assumption because it stops them from doing the work. Am I making sense or am I crazy? If I have Susan on my list right now and I've made the assumption that she won't do it, I don't have to make the call. Right? I've already said it. I've already put it in my head. She's not going to do it. How do I know? Work allows me to know if she'll do it. That's the one piece we always leave out. Well, I'm exhausted today. I've assumed all the people on my list won't do it. I knew this doesn't work. And before you make one call, you're already out. Isn't that crazy? You're not willing to go through the journey. This business is the journey. Any successful person had to go through an initial journey. Does that make sense? Starting at 3 years old. Here's 3 years old. Here, get in the pool. I'm 3. You're going to be an Olympic athlete. And from 3, right, till 13, that person's in the pool 6 hours a day. So you don't want to hear that part. All you want to say is, oh my gosh, isn't she cool? She's in the Olympics. She won. You didn't reverse engineer. So it starts with not making assumptions. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. Communicate. Doesn't mean if it goes good or bad. Communicate. Susan, let me be very clear. I'm so excited about my opportunity. And let me tell you why, Susan. I was so sick and tired of working 12 hours a day. I've been doing this now 20 years, Susan, and every day I wake up, I'm not excited. And to add insult to injury, Susan, okay, at the end of every month, we're still broke. Lisa feels like a stay-at-home mom. I never see my kids. Something had to give, Susan. And I'm now this age, and I know if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to keep getting the same results. And I keep looking at people around me who have succeeded, and you know the number one thing that we all have in common, Susan? All those people that we look up to, they made a change. And I said to myself, you know what? Why not me? So I found this group of people that have a system with this product I am so excited about. Share your product results. But more importantly, it's going to allow me to do something on the side. But there's people that have left their day jobs and are making 6 figures after their first year. Now, am I clear? Did I just paint a picture for Susan? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not making assumptions. I'm going to tell everybody that story. That's my job. My job is to tell everybody that story because it's the truth. Do you know your story? Do you know your story? Can you paint that picture for me right now if I unmuted you? You better get good at it because that's your business. That is, I got to get Susan to see. Now, did I mention multi-level? No, it doesn't matter because I could have been talking about a Quiznos. I could have been talking about a McDonald's. Doesn't McDonald's have a group of people that know what they're doing? Doesn't McDonald's have a system? See, forget all that stuff. That's the stuff that's keeping you broke. Stop. Paint the vision of what you see. Don't make the assumption. Tell your story. This is what I'm talking about. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid the misunderstandings, the sadness, or drama. Now, do you understand? Don't make assumptions, what that means? Okay. Number 4, always do your best. That goes back to being impeccable with your word, doesn't it? Right? I made an agreement with myself today. Today, for some of you, is your day. And when I get off this call, I'm going to be impeccable with my word. Now, I got to speak the word. What's the word? I got to have a schedule. I'm going to hold to that schedule. I'm going to make sure when I go to bed, I'm going to bed with a successful day because I've been impeccable with my word. And when I do this and I have my schedule and I've made my decision, I'm going to always do my best. Your best changes every day. You see what it says there? Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick. Your best is your best based on, right, the day, the moment. I always want to, I would care less if there was one person on this call. I would give my best. You know why? What if that's the one person that decides to change? Do you understand what it means to be impeccable with your word? You will if you know how strong your word could be in someone else's life. How many times do you think people, okay, are exposed to people that are excited and have a vision? They're not. This is why you become memorable. This is why you're different. Your word can change someone's life. I learned that in this industry. Just telling somebody, you're good enough. Let me tell you why. Because I didn't think I was. And I tell my story. I didn't go to college. People ask me, why do you tell that story? That puts you down. No, it's my story. I barely made it through high school. But along this journey of working in corporate America and my wife making a decision, I met somebody that said, you could be great. You have the it factor. It's all I needed. Someone with their word changed the direction of my life. That's the power. Let me ask you a question. What's that worth? You have that in your tool belt. Every one of you do. But some of you don't go through, you go through the motions every day. You don't do your best because you don't understand the power of what you have. You know why? Because you haven't seen the power of it yet. You don't even know the magnitude of the opportunity that you have. And I don't care what company you're with. If you could build a team in your company and make a percentage of your product, you could get stinking rich. But you don't understand that. You know why? Because you're not putting forth your best every day because you haven't been impeccable with your word. Every person you talk to, if it's negative, you take it personally. You make assumptions and you go through the motions. You know why I know this? Because this is how I did it for 2 years. Here we go again. And you know why? I was self-sabotaging me. Mine was self-sabotage, subconsciously. And I had to figure out why. You know why? Because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I couldn't find my way. I cared what other people thought. That's what every time someone talked to me, I cared what they thought. No. Then someone said, the day you stop caring what other people think is the day you're on your path to becoming wealthy. You got to care what Jeff thinks. And it doesn't matter. And then people start to buy into where you're going. If you take everybody else's opinion, you never have direction for yourself. You're always changing. No, I know that I know. I want to get you to know that you know. And the way you do it is to do your best every day. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment. Here's the key: self-abuse and regret. Self-judgment, self-abuse. This is premeditated. This is craziness. I'm not good enough. Okay, maybe you could be you could be better for yourself. What do you have to do on a daily basis to get you feeling good about you? Let's not go through that again. It's a big part of the journey though. What if getting you right took a year? And in your second year, you're prepared for success. You got to be prepared for success. Maybe that's your journey. I don't know. But I could tell you, if you follow these things, if you follow these agreements, okay, it'll better your chances to keep taking the journey. That's the game, guys. What's the magic answer? Take the journey and never quit. Take the journey and never quit. In other words, do it and don't quit. Some people just go, I'm still on the journey. I'm never going to quit, Jeff. I never miss a success zone. My auto ship comes every month. Okay. How much has that earned you? Take your auto ship, I'm using that as an example, right? Take your service or product and go out there and don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. Be impeccable with your word and always do your best. Be clear in your message and let people know that your widget, okay, is your opportunity. And let me share with you that what surrounds this widget. And just tell them why you're doing it. I don't know how easy this can be. When people go, well, it's a numbers game. Yeah. Until you start to know what you're looking for, it's a numbers game. But see, that's what I want you guys to think about. Know your journey. I want you to know where you're going. And I want you to believe in whatever it is you're doing. And it doesn't really make a difference with what you're doing. This works if you work it. But I'm telling you right now, guys, this has nothing to do with multi-level. Nothing. So that's the 4 agreements. All right. Let me say goodbye to all of you guys. Hang on. I want you guys to have a good weekend. Hi. Look at all the smiling faces. See, I like this because it's mostly girls. Yeah. Guys, Larry, come on. You're ruining the picture, Larry. Gary, you're killing this. Brian, you got to get off the Gordon. Oh my God, Gordon. Armand, off. I want women. I'm kidding, sweetheart. Bye, guys. See you guys later.